Hey there, everyone. Meteorologist Rebecca Sweet here with another 10 Weather chat. We are joined with William, and we have Chris Neidig, who is joining us.
Yes.
Chris, I said your last name right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Just wanted to make sure. Now, you are with us because we're talking about car detailing, which is all so important this time of year. You and I were kind of going back and forth about this, but first and foremost, kind of tell us your history, like where you're from, how did you get into this?
I was born and raised in Oak Ridge. In 2020, actually COVID, I was working at a dealership out in Oak Ridge. It was actually Oak Ridge Nissan. I got laid off, and I just kind of knew that I still wanted to detail or clean cars. And so I don't know. I just went and packed out my Nissan Altima and folded the seats down, put a bunch of hoses and buckets in the car, and started washing cars for people. At the time, I was going to North Star Church, and I was just like, hey, can I wash your car for $40 a month? And did that for a bunch of people. And from there, I just kind of started growing and then transitioned a few months later, thankfully, into actual detailing. And so, I don't know, it feels like a lifetime ago. But
oh my gosh.
It was super fast.
What William and I were so shocked about is when you came in here, I was like, how old are you? And he's only 30. You and William share birthdays together almost. But we were shocked at how successful you are already and just so young.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think that I don't know. I mean, some days I don't really, I take it for granted for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm very, very thankful and blessed. We've had a lot of cool opportunities. We're very, very excited about, what we do. And we I don't know, we get a lot of cool opportunities right now. And so I'm just excited to keep growing.
Yeah, that's so cool. Well, hey, so since we're talking about cars and it's been a really busy August so far. I was mentioning to you how much rain. We're in a surplus this month for rain. We have 4 young kids at our house. Our cars are already pretty gross because of kids, but now when you factor in mud and rain, have you been seeing a lot of this as of lately?
So yes and no. I will say that I feel like I've never. I mean, I know I'm only 30, but I've never experienced this much rain in the summer. I don't think. And so it is a little bit annoying and then a little bit different, but we work on vehicles from everything from I drive a Nissan Altima, everything from that to some really fancy high end stuff. So it's the higher end things, they kind of keep them in the garage and keep them kind of clean.
I think I saw you doing a plane.
We didn't do that yet, but we are bidding because we are getting ready to step into expanding into aviation, which is terrifying, but also really exciting.
Fancy. William, can he clean your plane?
Oh, yeah. I got about a good 4 or 5 jets.
There you go. Perfect.
But I have been seeing, actually, one of the things that we moved away from probably about a year ago was mold. We didn't want to do that a whole lot, but I think that I don't know what it is, but I've seen a lot more mold in vehicles. We had a customer leave on a vacation. They came back and their cars were fine before they left, and then I don't know science very well, but I don't know if it was humidity or whatever, but they came back and the whole interior of their car was just moldy.
Oh my gosh.
And so
where would you see that at? If someone were to look in their car, do you smell it? Do you see it? What is that?
They saw it everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
So it can be carpets is the main place that we see it, seats, fabric, and then this one was all over the plastic, the doors, and so I don't know if it was from maybe humidity or something, but we've been seeing a lot more mold this summer, which is not good. But we also, I don't know, we have been really blessed this summer in the way that normally we see a lot of cancellations for rain and for just anything weather related, and thankfully we haven't seen that many cancellations this year.
I didn't even think about that and how that would impact outdoor businesses when you're actually doing the cleaning.
I mean, we have a shop down in Oak Ridge, but even then, a lot of times people will say well, I don't want to pay for to get my car back out in the rain. I'm on the side of I don't care if it's raining. I would rather have a clean car and at least watch it all beat
Yeah.
up and, you know, fall off, because a dirty car in the rain is just not as fun. But
We just did the trade from like having carpet on our flooring in our vehicles to then like taking out the mats and putting in rubber mats. Like, would you recommend that? Would that keep your car a little bit cleaner, you think?
Yeah, it'll keep it a little cleaner. Rubber mats, you just have to be careful with too, and like you have to keep up with them because then they get, if you don't care about scuffs and like all that stuff, like that's fine, but they get scuffed, especially WeatherTech. They're great. And we can like fix them and re-dye them and stuff, but they get scuffed up, they get stained. And so then a lot of times people think, oh, I just got to like get it really muddy and then spray it off. And they're like, why is it still dirty? And it's because it's getting stained because it's rubber. And so,
I really wish
there's trade-offs.
I'm like, WeatherTech, that sounds familiar, but I have no idea. William, do you know WeatherTech? What do you have in your car? What kind of car do you drive again?
Let me turn my mic on. That's unprofessional. The standard whatever came with the car mats. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I vacuum them.
Do you really? Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, so we just talked about the rain. It's been super rainy. Now, before we know it, Chris, we're going to be getting into the winter season. And immediately my brain goes to salt.
Yeah.
Like, is it still really important to clean your car in the winter?
It's very important. I think we've been able to educate our customers a little bit more, thankfully, because we don't see as much as up north, obviously, but like here, it's more so the salt that they put down to prevent. And so that is like the biggest thing is like, I understand that like it happens like daily. So you're like, why would I clean it when, you know, tomorrow I'm going to get salt all over it again. And it's like, you don't have to necessarily clean it every day, but like after a couple of days of buildup, I mean, we just saw a truck that came in and it was in Michigan. So it was a lot worse, but it was in Michigan for a while and it had salt all down the bottom. And like there's things that like over time, if you just leave it, it corrodes, it causes more of a damage issue. And so we can't fix it because there's nothing to really do about it unless you go out and replace the parts, which is really expensive. So like even like we offer like undercarriage rinses and like salt washes and stuff like that around that time. And so that's like, even if you're just rinsing the car off and drying it, then like that at the least is better than just leaving it.
Just leaving it.
Yeah. And so we prefer to like actually use something to agitate the vehicle and get that off of there. Because even if you just rinse it, you have minerals in the water, and that can be a whole issue as well.
Is there a protectant you can put on your car when it comes to that kind of stuff?
Yeah. I mean, we use, we're accredited with G-Technic, and so we use all of their products as far as, we have ceramic sealant that you can put on. That's like an entry-level ceramic, and that can help prevent some buildup. And then we also have ceramic coatings that are more durable, as far as like Crystal Serum Light, Crystal Serum Ultra, all those kind of things. Very, very slick, very durable, very hydrophobic. And that keeps a lot of that stuff from embedding into the clear coat. And so all those things come with, you have to maintain them, but maintenance and getting it done on a regular basis is kind of what we do as well.
How often do you have to apply those ceramic coats?
Ceramic coatings, so the Ultra is 9 years, the Light is about 3 to 5 years, and then the C2 ceramic sealant is an entry level. That's about 5 to 6 months.
Okay, so question on that, because I think we got a ceramic coating on our car a long time ago. I have no idea what kind it is. Can you still get a car wash once you have a ceramic coating, or should you is that a no-no?
It depends. My pride would say absolutely not.
Okay.
But in the professional detailing world would say absolutely not. I think it depends realistically, because as someone who, I've got a Nissan Altima, it's got rock chips, it's got all this and that. We have a coating. I will take it to a wash if I'm in a pinch, because I don't care about the finish as much as I would if you have like a brand new vehicle or like a 911 or something like that. So it's like, the biggest thing is like tunnel washes, no matter who they are, what they have, they're going to mar the paint. They're going to create scratches, all that kind of stuff. And so if you're more concerned with like the finish of the vehicle, then you want to hand wash it or have someone like us professionally hand wash it. Otherwise, if you don't care about it, you just really care about like, I want to see all the water beads. A lot of people just get a coating just because they're like, I want to see the water bead off the car and be all hydrophobic and everything. And so that it'll still... the coating will still be intact, but you'll still see scratches on the vehicle, if that makes any sense.
No, it makes sense. That was a total curious question. William, how often do you take your car to the car wash? I'm just curious.
My partner religiously washes her car.
Does she really?
Yes, like at least twice a month. Is
Proud to
that
tell you.
too frequent?
Twice a month is actually really good.
Is it? All right, very cool.
Yeah,
So
we wash
I'll do
cars
that.
weekly. So.
Wow, yeah. So I'll do it. I'll do it when usually when she does it. So
That's
yeah,
good.
about twice a month. Yeah.
That's
Okay,
good.
that's way
That's
better
good.
than I do. I was telling Chris, I'm afraid of car washes.
Yeah.
One time, this car in front of me stopped, and so I accidentally, not even my fault, I ran into him because he hit his brakes, and ever since then, I'm afraid of car washes.
Yeah. They're not very safe.
And they always say we're not responsible for damage, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why would people do
Yeah.
that? You know,
Yeah.
like when you can't see in front of you, it freaks me out. But anyway,
Yeah.
it's a whole other side story. Okay, so last subject, Chris, and I know that this doesn't totally go into detailing, but you had mentioned like rocks, chips, like potholes, like things like that. Is there anything that you can do with your business to maybe kind of like help that a little bit? I know you can't prevent it, but
Well, we can't. They're getting lucky. A shameless plug, I guess. Knox Details. They do paint protection film and like
Okay.
window tint and stuff. And so if you want to prevent any kind of rock chips, any kind of like big scratches like that, then PPF is like the way to go. We don't do that, but they do that. And so as far as like actual like aesthetic and gloss and slickness and just being able to wash the vehicle easier and maintain it easier, then that route would be ceramic coatings, and that would be where you just kind of create an easier surface to maintain. We see that on, again, I mean, we do that on people's cars that unfortunately some of them do take it through the car wash, and that's preference, but we see that on people that we take care of their cars on a weekly basis, a bi-weekly basis, a monthly basis. Some people are just fanatics about like keeping
clean car.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just like one speck of dust, get it off.
Yeah.
And so that's one case. But then there's another case where it's like, okay, I just want my car cleaned twice a month or once a month. And so ceramic coatings would be the best option for that. They won't prevent rock chips and deep scratches, but they will prevent like chemicals from affecting the color of the paint. It'll protect it from bug guts, water drops, like all that kind of stuff, because we got hard water, and that creates like little hard water spots, and so stuff like that can be prevented and then maintained on a regular basis. And so
okay, so geeky question. This is like a mom question though. Like what? So for maybe like a mom who's listening to this, or like William, who probably has the messiest car ever. Just kidding.
For the record, my car is very clean.
I can imagine.
Thank
I
you
actually
very
would
much.
imagine that William's
Thank you
car is
very much.
spotless. My car, not. What would be like for someone who's listening at home? Maybe they can't afford to get their car detailed. Like, what would you say would be like their best bang for their buck way to clean their car?
Well, honestly, I would say that like number one is do it yourself is pretty easy and somewhat affordable. But if you want to do it professionally, it's not nearly as expensive sometimes as people think. Like we've got people, again, I mean, yes, we have a certain audience that like, sure, we partner with people like Pilot and some other big companies. And so like, yes, there's like a different degree of like, oh, like I can, afford to do this or whatever. And so that's good. But at the same time, like we've got, people that are moms and dads and stuff like that like, I get it. Like I drive a Nissan Altima, and so like I don't have the budget or the time to really, do too much, but it's more expensive in the long run to not do it properly. If you end up with issues and resale value goes down, all that kind of stuff. So like I would say like either invest in tools to do it right, and then maintain it yourself on a regular basis, or looking into what you could potentially, like for example, we have people that are on a monthly basis, and they just try to like maintain it a little bit themselves, like with some quick detailer and microfiber towels in between. But we have people that do exterior only, and it's $79 a month. And so it's like it's not a car wash level. $20 a month for unlimited washes or something like that is like great in theory. But then you've got risk of damaging your car or
hitting
scratching
the car
your
in front
car.
of you.
And I've done that where like the track just stopped, and then like the whole front end got like a big hole in it, and it's like, so you got damage issues that you have to worry about. You've got to actually go there and sit there, and I get it. Kids love the soap and the smell and all the stuff. But then a lot of what we do have the shop. But we also have the mobile units that we have, and so we go to your office, your house. I think that's like the biggest thing for us is that we like to encourage people, like, you're not just paying for the service, you're also paying for convenience, and you're paying for that time back with your family.
Yeah.
The biggest thing for us is like we believe, like in our mission statement, I mean, we say like we believe that everyone deserves the chance to feel proud of what they drive.
Oh.
And that's a big deal for us because we want to make like an impact on everyone's life. We want, everyone to feel like, oh, like I'm really, really busy this week. I don't have time for my family, but my car is a mess. And like when you get in your car, like you're going everywhere, soccer, baseball, school, all the stuff. And then you're like, I cannot stand my life because my car's a mess.
I agree.
And so we actually, I don't know, sometimes we maybe shoot ourselves in the foot sometimes, and we go a little bit lower on pricing for people. But I would just say, I mean that's like, kind of like a rabbit hole, but and like sidetracked on that. But essentially it's like, I don't know, because it's hard. It's hard to maintain it yourself. It's actually kind of more expensive to get the tools that you need to get it done. And so,
time and everything you were saying. I mean, I think it makes total sense. And
it just becomes a headache. And then you're like, what have I done? I've spent, because like a pressure washer and mitts and soaps and like all the things to like actually wash it properly. Yeah. I mean, it's like you're spending like $400 on like tools and then, a couple $100 on products. And then you're like, wait, how do I do this?
Yeah.
When should I do this? And so, that's what we always encourage people. Like, even if you think you can't afford it, at least just get a quote. And then that way we can like help you. And then, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, if I don't think that like it's, a good fit for someone, then I'll just say like, here's exactly what you should get. And then we'll help educate them that way. Yeah. So it's like, you can at least do it at home.
Peace of mind. You give a lot of people some peace of mind. Hey, Chris, if people want to find out more information about your business, I know you guys also said you guys do like subscriptions and things like that. Yeah. Where should people look for more?
Yeah. Our website is detailedrivenpro.com. Our Instagram is a good form of communication. It's detailedriven.llc. And then just my phone number. And so that's 865-437-6796. And that's my direct line. I'm on that all day long, every day. But yeah, we have subscription plans where essentially you can, almost the same way that, a car wash is, but better because we go to you. And so, you can essentially just sign up, set a day, set a time, and then we come out to you regularly and you have a card on file and then you're good to go. Sometimes we love to build relationships with people and like see them as much as we can. But I mean, it's really nice for like sometimes people will be inside hanging out, making dinner, whatever, and like we just show up, do the car, and then we're out, and then people are like, oh my gosh, like my car is so clean, like they didn't have to like talk to us, and I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't seen you in 2 years, but
so funny.
But subscription plans are huge for us, and like I said, I mean, we partner with the pilot company, we do that like on a really frequent basis for them. We show up to like companies. People, residential, anything like that.
Yeah.
So like we take care of everyone.
A great Christmas gift from William or WBIR. Wouldn't that be a nice gift? A clean car?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
I would hate for you to see any of our reporters' cars because they are probably so bad. Yeah, we're not even going to talk about that.
Everyone says that, but then it's like, it's really not nearly as bad as like you might think. And so it's like I don't know. And if it is, like we're here for that, And so,
you get a chance to see it. Hey, Chris, we totally appreciate you coming in. I've learned a lot from this.
Yeah.
William, who has a spectacular car already, doesn't need it, but families like me totally do.
Got to keep it clean.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.